You have a test coming up. Let's talk about some specifics. Here, your test is right here. We have 3 sections in this online exam 1. The first section here is review. So these are obviously the problems that we're going to do together in class. If you look at the calendar, you'll be able to see what day that's planned for. These are written reviews. So Andy, my boss, the dude who wrote the tests, wrote this written review as an extra way for you to study for your test. This written review will not be collected, it will not be graded, but it's the closest to the test of all 3 of these. So this written review is closer than what we're going to do in class and closer than their more review. So this is the closest thing to the test that you will get. He gave you the answer key. I would certainly suggest that you guys try to do this before you take your test. And if you're going through it and you're not sure why you got the wrong answer, then please feel free to send me a text message and take a picture, or send me a message here and more, and make sure that you take a picture of which problem you're having an issue with. And I can walk you through what's going on with your answer. And then this review here and more is extra credit. So this is going to count toward your homework grade, some extra credit, but I would review that. I would do that too. I mean, I would do it all, but I'm a big fat nerd. So this next thing is just some information. So if we look at this, I'm going to have to come off in student mode for a minute. So if we look at this, we're going to see this is your information about the test. So let's take a look at it together. You have 3 parts here. The first part is our information. The second part is the submission agreement. So when you click into this submission agreement, it's basically going to ask you to acknowledge that you will not do anything that you should not do on your test. I promise that even though this is an online test, I'm not going to cheat. So you will not have access to the test until you complete the submission agreement. And if you look, it says right here, prerequisite, 100 points on the submission agreement. So if your test is not opening, then I would say to check the submission agreement, because if you don't do this, this will not open. The second thing that it says here, you will have a 4-hour time limit. So once you open the test, it locks again in 4 hours. There are only 10 questions. So 4 hours is very generous. If you're working on it and you have to go and move your laundry around, go for it. But don't go grocery shopping. Once you sit down, because you really only have those 4 hours. And once you're done, you're done. That the test will not reopen. I will not reopen it for you. This is the one time that I'm going to be very staunch about times and due dates. You have to get this test done within that 4-hour time limit. You have to get the test done within the window that it's open. Okay? Again, there are 10 questions. You only get 1 submission for each question, and there are no try another similars. You get 1 shot at each question, and that's it. Okay? You should be doing all your work. There is, I think, 1 question on this test. We'll go back and we'll double check. There's 1 question on this test that you have to submit your work. I can do this and it doesn't matter because it regenerates the questions. I'm not worried about you seeing something. Okay, here it is. So yes, there is 1 question where you have to upload your work. So here's the way this question goes. You're going to write all of your work down on a piece of paper in front of you. And then you're going to take a picture of it with your phone. You're going to email that picture to yourself, save it on your computer, and then use this button right here to insert your picture. I would recommend that you practice. If this is something that you've never done before, I would recommend that sometime in the next 7 days, because your test opens up a week from tonight, for you to practice that. Take a picture with your phone, send it to your computer, make sure that you can download the picture from your phone to your computer. It's something that some of you guys probably do all the time, and it's something that some of you guys have maybe never done before. So make sure that you are comfortable getting a picture from your phone to the computer because you will need to do that for this test. Okay? Any questions about that? Because my biggest fear is that I'm going to go grade this and there's going to be nothing here. And then you're going to tell me, oh, I tried so hard. So I just want to make sure that you know that that is something that is a skill that you need. You need to be able to get a picture from your phone to your computer in order to be able to submit your work for this assignment. Okay? I am not grading your work. I am grading the presence of your work. More is going to tell you whether or not your answers are correct. I am just checking to make sure that you actually like worked the problem out on paper. So you will get these 15 points as long as you have shown all of your work for this entire question. Okay, so again, I'm not going to be like micromanaging and double checking every single detail of your work. I'm going to like look at it and make sure that your work matches your question because everybody's numbers on these questions are going to be different, and make sure that it looks like you had an idea of what you were trying to do. And then I'm going to give you your 15 points. Okay. So there was that. Your test has 110 points available, but I am going to put it in out of 100. So if you get 110, then I'm putting in 110 and you'll have some extra credit. If you get an 80 out of 110, it goes in the grade book as an 80 out of 100. Okay. So I want you to know that when you finish your test, your score will not show up automatically for 2 reasons. First of all, I have to hand grade your work. Second of all, I have to change that, whatever it's out of whatever you get out of 110, I have to put in out of 100. Okay, so please be patient. I'm going to try to do that the Monday after it's due. So if we look at the dates here, your test becomes available next Wednesday and it stays available until that Sunday. So that gives you Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5 days for you to take this test. So within those 5 days, you have to make sure that you can put aside 4 hours. I know that I was just telling you guys, if you need help on the quiz, on the homework, on the video lessons, whatever, I am always more than willing to extend those deadlines. I am never willing to extend this deadline. Please don't ask. I will not extend the deadline for the test. I won't do it. You have 5 days. This is important to me. Like, I need to really get an idea of where you're at. You need to really get an idea of where you're at. There's 2 tests and the final, and those are the only 3 times that I'm going to be like really like, no, this has to get done in this window. Okay. I feel like that's everything I wanted to say. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. I'm going to be reminding you about this test as we go through, so that, where did it go? So that you, like, I'm going to tell you about it again on Monday. I'm going to tell you about it again on Wednesday. Next Wednesday, our only assignment will be test review. My advice would be to then spend the rest of Wednesday like doing the actual review, so that if you have a question, you can ask it, because Wednesday is the last time that you're guaranteed like 100%. I can promise you that I will be here to answer your question in a very timely manner. Okay. All right. So I recorded that for you guys.